Oh, Rip Tigray. He was like, oh, I can't play because I've got ballistics right now. The what do you call it? And then right after, he actually read what I'd said to him. He thought it was going to be like a best of five or something. It's just 3 games. So he just he told me, nah, I can't play. I wonder what it's going to be. What do you guys think? First thing I want you guys to type. If you think somebody's going 3-0, just somebody, then write their name and then 3-0. If you think somebody's going to go 0-3, write their name followed by 0-3. Fairy 0-3. Now that is a bold prediction. Bear in mind, somebody can't go. You can't have somebody 3-0 and somebody 0-3 at the same time. It's either 3-2-1s and 1-0-3, or 3-1-2s and 1-3-0. Change team every game, 3 games. All right, so it's really easy. You just do 3 games. The first one is random, and then the second one you change team, and then the third one you change team again. So we got Fairy, Speed, Calix, and Alex161. Alex161 recently got promoted to RLCS, so congrats to him. He is the newest RLCS EU player, alongside his teammates Mummy Snow and Skyline. They all played very well in the promotion tournament, I've got to say. I'm making a scoreboard off screen right now. Let me try and find somebody who's not got the default camera glitch. There we go.
I think you got it.
I got what? I don't know what I got, but ecliptical. Oh, okay. I got ecliptical. Sorry, I got confused because Brian didn't read the word like I did. Okay, I think most of you guys were trolling with predictions. Maybe not. There was definitely a few speed 3-0s in there. So a couple of speed fanboys in chat. I'm going with Fairy Peak 3-0. But to spice things up, I think if one player is going to go 0-3 here, it's going to be Calix, just because I don't think Calix has played on my stream before. Calix did play in the Gfinity Elite Series last season and has been extremely high rated in several leaderboards. I think predominantly 2s, 3s, and solo 3s. I saw Calix very high rated in standard leaderboard when Gfinity Elite Series Season 3 started. That's why Unilad picked him up. Oh, and a nice fadeaway there by Fairy Peak. So let the ball roll in and give Speed the goal. One dribble from Fairy Peak. Waits for Alex161 to get out of the way and then lets it slow roll in. So that's 1-0 for Speed and Fairy. Of course, after 2 rounds of this setup, in case somebody is new here and you've never seen a random 2s lobby before, a 3-game 2s lobby, then you're always going to have, at the end of game 2, somebody at a 2-0 score and someone else on a 0-2 score and 2 players 1-1. That's always going to be the score after 2 games. These default camera glitches are actually so stupid. Fairy Peak doesn't make it 2-0 in the score for game 1. But it's really been one-way traffic so far. This is the thing that makes Fairy Peak such a dangerous player in 2v2, is you can't get the ball past him in the midfield. Absolutely brutal stuff here by Fairy. Perfect spacing to intercept Calix's challenge, or the Calix's dribble before he can recover after dribbling Speed. And Alex161 was just at Fairy Peak's mercy as he easily reads the backboard. This man is still, in my opinion, comfortably a top 5 player in the world. Excellent pass there by Speed, finding the center of the field easily. Of course, one of the other things that makes Fairy Peak such a good player is how easy he is to play with in ranked. That's one of the things that I've heard a lot of professional players say about this man, is they love to play with him, hate to play against him, love to play with him, which is true of every good player usually. But not all the time. There's some players who are unarguably very good players, but lots of other players don't enjoy playing with them just because they have an awkward playstyle or a different playstyle. That is an open net miss for Calix. Looking very, very shaky. Was it Calix? I think it was Calix who used to play the hot shot, right? But now he's just switched to the Batmobile. How unique and original, right? If we're talking about all game modes, 1s, 2s, and 3s, I think Fairy Peak is just the best. You can't, and I don't think anybody could argue that right now. I don't think it's even a discussion if you're putting all playlists into the equation, because Scrubkill and Fairy Peak are quite clearly the best 1v1 players, with Fairy Peak having the edge, I'd say. Then in 2v2, there's a lot of players who are quite high rated. Lethimir's always up there. Scrub is usually pretty high. Fairy Peak's always pretty high. Just the really good RLCS NA players, Squishy, JNaps, Garrett are always up there as well. K-Dop. But Fairy Peak holds number 1 in 2v2. He's just literally number 1 ranked in 2v2, number 2 ranked in 1v1. I think he's number 1 ranked in 3v3, or he was, until Scrub took it recently. So when it comes to all game modes combined, this guy is the greatest at the moment, I think. Speed is having a great time playing alongside him.
What about best all-time across playlists? Still Q?
Best all-time across all playlists. That's an interesting question. That is very interesting. It's probably not. Could it still be Cux? I don't know. I don't know if it could still be Cux these days. Best all-time across all playlists. That's so hard. I mean, I had my number 1 was, or my number 1, 2, 3 was Cux Marky Greasy when I made my best all-time 3v3 players list at the start of 2018. But since then, all 3 of those players have failed to qualify for RLCS Season 4. And the players who I had slightly lower than them have been doing a lot better. So it's, you know, I think changed up a little bit. Who did I have at 4th place again? No, actually, I had Remco at number 2. I had Remco at number 2. But when you introduce more playlists to the equation, that usually hurts Remco a bit because he doesn't play 1v1 at all. Obviously, he's a good 2v2 player, but he doesn't play 1s at all. My top 10 was Cux, Remco, Marky, Greasy, Garrett, Kronovi, K-Dop, Devo, Turbo, and then who did I have at number 10? I forgot my number 10. Was it Squishy number 10? I think that was my number 10. My top 10 like all-time Rocket League 3v3 players. All time, and that's like not just RLCS era, I'm talking everything, like since the very beginning of competitive Rocket League. And that's why I still had Cux at number 1, no questions asked, because he was the greatest for like so long. And obviously now with Gale Force dominating, with Turbo also winning 2 RLCS in a row, he is currently at a much higher what do you call it, value, I guess, skill value than Cux, with Cux failing to make 2 lands, Turbo winning the last 2. But yeah, all time, yeah, Cux was definitely still the best for me. Alright, 1-0 for Fairy Peak and Speed. We just went on a bit of a tangent at the end of that game as Fairy Peak and Speed ran away with it. That means the teams should change up. Wait, I didn't make a series. Okay, good. I was hoping that I didn't make a series length mutator, because that would ruin this. That would really ruin this. Alright, there we go. So Fairy Peak and Speed are the 2 players who have a win to their name. But by the end of this game, only one of them will have a perfect record. Hair looks sick. Thanks, Whiskey Dude. Appreciate that. It's really not that hard. Just blow dried it, you know. Just bought a hairdryer for £12, and then I used it. Why did they all? Okay, I was about to get so mad because literally everybody in the lobby had the fixed camera glitch. Big chance for Speed here. This is his moment to try to take the lead against Fairy. And of course, if he does win this one, he at least locks in first equal. And then game 3 would be the battle for Speed to try and take unanimous first place. This is a 2v1 Calix and Speed versus Fairy Peak, but it's taking a while to get going. And Fairy Peak looking so comfortable at the back, easily shadowing Speed's flick. Calix had a chance there to make an overtaking maneuver and look for a bump onto Fairy, but decided against it. Perhaps not wanting to take a risk this early into the game. With a minute gone though, still all tied up. Good flick there by Speed, not just getting the clear, but clearing in a direction that Calix can follow up on. So it wasn't just Fairy Peak that was performing well in game 1. Speed, he's been having quite a lot of success on my stream actually. He's, I think, 2 wins and 1 loss in best of 5 show matches. With that loss coming at the hands of Ahmed, when Ahmed was number 2 in the world on the rank leaderboard. And of course, Fairy Peak has had arguably the most success out of anybody. I think maybe the Scrub Killer has had more success on my stream in recent times. Maybe not even in recent times. I think Fairy Peak is the most successful player on my stream recently. I don't remember the last time that Fairy Peak lost. Has Fairy Peak lost ever since the Devo loss in that 1v1 tournament that I did? Because the list of players who have beaten Fairy is Jesse, Devo, Scrub, and I think one other player, Floris. Yeah, that's the 4. Maybe, are there more than that? They're the 4 that I remember. Speed takes it past Fairy at the near post. Alex is there. Alex wants to show us why he is now an RLCS player. And not just an RLCS player, but a player who made it through the promotion tournament in first place, taking down Team Secret from behind. What a comeback that was. If you've not seen it yet, then definitely go and watch it. Alright, there was, Cux, Jesse, Floris, and Devo. They're the 4 players that... Oh yeah, and Ocelon beat Fairy. Yeah, you're right. Ocelon has beaten Fairy. So there's 5 players who have beaten Fairy before. But last time that Ocelon played Fairy, he got clapped. Last time Floris played Fairy, he got clapped. Last time Devo played Fairy, he lost. So Fairy has had revenge for a lot of those losses. I think just the Cux one has gone unavenged on my stream. But of course, Fairy Peak knocked Cux out of 12 Titans Year 2. Do they really all have this glitch again? Okay, we found a player that doesn't have it. What was the other one player? There was one other player I didn't mention. Speed, looking for the double touch. Doesn't get it on target, and Fairy Peak is there quickly on the recovery. Doomsday was very close. Yeah, see, Ocelon, Devo, and Floris have all... Fairy's had his revenge on them. He got his revenge on Cux in 12 Titans. Beaten Scrub numerous times, beaten K-Dop numerous times. Why are we talking about Fairy? Is he playing next? Fairy's literally right here, my man. This is Fairy Peak. The legend. The man himself. Miss Scrub. Scrub's never beaten Fairy on my stream. He beat Fairy in 12 Titans, but Fairy beat him on my stream, and he also beat him in... I think Fairy's actually beaten Scrub twice. Chronologically, he's beaten Scrub twice in Best of 5 series since losing to Scrub in 12 Titans Year 2. But one of those show matches was actually aired before 12 Titans Year 2, because obviously 12 Titans Year 2 is a pre-recorded event. So really, I think Fairy Peak is... There's no one that has beaten him in their last meeting. I don't think. Their last, like, official meeting in 1v1. I don't think there's anybody who he currently has, like, you know, a previous match or a previous time they played, and it's a loss. But I don't know. I didn't do my research on that, so I might be wrong. I've thought about it right now on the spot, but I didn't research it earlier. Fairy Peak won with the Ones Invitational on your channel. Yeah, he also won that. He's beaten Scrub in 3 best of 7s since losing 12 Titans Year 2, which is enough to make Scrub, at least for now, consider Fairy his nemesis. Big chance here for Speed, and he won't let Calix down. They're not quite done with this game. It's been comfortable for Fairy Peak and Alex161, but that was very careless by Fairy, trying to squash the ball into the corner. Or rather, no, not squashing the ball into the corner, instead trying to cut it a little bit away from the wall. Oh, pretty thanks to the tier 3 sub, 6 months in a row.
Else Fairy 3-0.
It's not done yet. This is still 2-1. And Calix and Speed have got some work to do, but it is a doable task. This is a struggle now. In the final few seconds, Speed finds the backboard, but that's really all he can do, and Fairy Peak is looking ominous on the ball yet again, and he takes it clear. And there's one more chance for Calix and Speed to defeat Fairy and Alex161. Air dribble from Speed towards Calix. Alex even tries to keep it up, but he doesn't, and that is going to be GG Game 2. Fairy Peak gets another win on the board. That is 2 for Fairy, 1 for Alex161, and 0 for Calix. So this means that I will be right about one thing. We are either going to have... Oh no, we won't. Oh no, yeah, we will. I'm right about one thing. I said that Fairy Peak was going to go 3-0 or Calix goes 0-3 if somebody goes 0-3. So one of those things is guaranteed to happen. If a win happens here for Orange Team, Fairy Peak does sweep. That's the most likely outcome in my opinion by far. However, Speed and Alex161, the Octane players, are finally united. We've had Octane Batmobile versus Octane Batmobile both times until now. The Octanes are finally together as they should be, in harmony, in peace. But will they still have hope at the end of this, or will it be in pieces? What up, Scrub? How's it going, man? Ezio, thanks to the tier 3 sub 6 months in a row. Thanks to the prime sub as well to Zunfriendy0. What's going on, Scrub? What's happening, mate? What's happening, Hen? Tell me. What's the story? Why didn't I let you pop off in this 2v2 series? I didn't think you'd. I thought you were streaming. Wait, were you not streaming? Because you were streaming when I started streaming, so I figured that you were busy. Hey, I'll get you in a future one though, because 2v2s can be fun to cast. I want to find out if anybody could beat Fairy in a 2 series. Right now, Speed and Alex161 are doing their absolute best that they can to go first equal with Fairy Peak. If they can win this game, it's a 3-way tie for first. And Calix is out. You were grinding. Did you get rank 1 on anything else today, or is it still just 1s and 3s? Solo 3s. Were you playing standard solo earlier? Is that what you were doing? Good play there by Alex161, keeping the ball onto the weak side for Orange team. Didn't want to get easily blocked by Calix on the exit. Speed is in a bit of an awkward spot though. Fairy Peak looking for the hook shot setup. Takes it wide. Climbed a lot in 3s. Rank 6, that's pretty good. Just maybe look away though, and now the Batmobiles are back in the game. And it's Calix on the board. Calix, I think this is his stream debut. Look at that pass from Fairy Peak though. Getting way off the wall. Alien Sky 9, thanks for the Prime sub. I very much appreciate that, my man. I've got to write down some tier 3 subs here. Praetors. And also Ezio. But yeah, Ezio's just got a bajillion subs on my channel, of course. So many subs have been done by Ezio. I've started to rethink my my thinking on gifted subs, gifted tier 3 subs. Gifted for as far as tier 3 sub gifting goes, whoever receives the gift also gets the replay review. I think that makes the most sense, because what's the point in a gifted tier 3 sub if you're just gonna steal the gift? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Batmobiles are parted like the Red Sea and the ball trickles into the open net. Calix and Fairy Peak not putting up anywhere near as much resistance as we expected there. Yeah, thanks so much for the subs at the end of the stream today, guys. Very much appreciated. This will be the final cast of the stream. This will be the final game of the stream. Alex and Speed trying to tie the number 1 2v2 player in the world in this lobby. But not if Calix has anything to say about it. He's looking for the bump onto Alex. Alex does enough though to stall for Speed to come back. And now it's Speed off the ceiling. Doesn't have much boost to work with. Wisely turns to stay ready. Ezio versus Ready sub-gifting show match. Yeah, that would be interesting. We also got Weirdo. He's gifted like... Weirdo's gifted 60 subs in my channel, and 10 of them were tier 3 subs. So he's essentially gifted 100 subs. Good follow by Speed. Actually doesn't make contact. It was a good idea, but he failed to execute. Still playing with plenty of momentum, as his name would suggest. That is Speed's playstyle. He's a self-claimed ball chaser. Fairy Peak stays strong in the near post against Alex's shot, but he needs to do so much more. Really bringing the best out of his opponents this game is Fairy Peak, but he's going to bring the best out of himself in the following second. Ties the game. We've got the role reversal. This time Calix on the outside getting the infield pass. Great block there by Calix. Getting the ball towards Fairy Peak. Wait, Cloud9 have already... Who did Cloud9 lose to? Cloud9 must have lost to a qualifying team, right? That's hugely surprising. What is not surprising is Fairy Peak still knows how to center the ball very, very well. Look at that pass, just perfect towards Calix. And Calix does acknowledge that with a great pass in the chat. It was no more than 20 seconds ago we had the 1-goal lead for Speed and Alex161. Now they are down by that same margin. It's Fairy Peak slams Alex161 at the far post, takes him out of the game. Speed looking for an air dribble actually, and he's going to put it in. Oh my goodness. I was hoping we were going to see the defensive POV on this one, but we had the fixed camera glitch on Calix, so we had to swap last second to Speed. Look at that play by Speed. Taking it end to end and into the near post corner. Calix helpless. It's a shame we had the glitch on Calix's camera. It would have looked just as good from his angle. Very close game here. Excellent bump by Speed, taking Fairy out of the game. Now Alex has a little bit of alone time with the ball. Alex's recovery here is going to be so slow. He's got to be careful. Fairy Peak actually missing on that pass receival. The thing that you have to remember when you're playing against Fairy is he's trying constantly to bring you into the spot where you're weak. He doesn't necessarily play to his strengths as much as he plays to his opponent's weaknesses, in my opinion. If you ask yourself, what are Fairy Peak's strengths? Like, you're probably just going to be like, well, he's kind of just good at everything. And then how does he beat you? He just plays where you're weak. It's exactly what Speed and Alex161 have just done to Calix. Calix, in his debut performance, caught out of position again, and Speed, no hesitation from him, punishing the delayed approach of Calix. He was taking way too long, looking at the ball as it fell down on top of his head. Fairy Peak again, looking for that center ball. Calix is there, but not fast enough. That has been the continued and the repeated process at the end of this match. Calix does well here. Speed does even better though. Stick Fairy out of the game, and now Calix has missed the ball. Fairy is not even moving, motionless. Fairy Peak, ball's on the goal line. Alex puts it in. And Fairy Peak has got to be thinking that it's just not going to be his game. 2 goals separate them now. Fairy Peak needs to step up. Calix is looking nervous. He's looking shaky. This is definitely one of the top players in ranked at the moment. If you ever watch high-rated players who stream during the day at European time, you'll see Calix in the lobby all the time. But that doesn't mean that he can just step into show match environment and play at his best. And Speed and Alex161 have been too good for the Batmobiles today, and they are going to get that win, which secures the 2-1 score for all 3 of them. That means that Calix does go 0-3. Don't worry though, don't fret, that does happen in probably 50% of these lobbies. The 50% of the 2s lobbies that we've ever done finishes off with a 0-3. So rip the 3-0 dream for Fairy. He tried his best, but it wasn't meant to be.